online scams. I think a lot of people in Kenya have been falling prey to online scams.
Hello, mimi ni mtoto wako, sanduku imepotea.
Bas. Bas, those ones. Hey. Let me tell you, this social media scams. You know this, like, you've ever, like, when you're on Facebook, then they're like, click on this link on Amazon, all you need to pay for an iPhone 15 is shipping. Free iPhone 15, pay for shipping. You've never seen those things?
Kwani mko gullible aje ama ni gullible? Like, kwani?
Hey, my friend, social media pia, it's not easy. Scam calls. Hey, there's someone who has ever tried me with this scam calls. Calling and saying, hi, your number has won this reward on M-Pesa. Try and withdraw on a certain number. I'm like,
Me who never plays again.
Please, get serious with your scams, guys. Hi guys, welcome to the Rundown.
My name is Mihala Barasa.
And I'm Danunz Yuko. Thank you for deciding to watch us today or listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Also, hit the notification bell on if you're watching us on YouTube so that you can know whenever we post a new video. So today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic. Online scams. I think a lot of people in Kenya have been falling prey to online scams.
Hello, mimi ni mtoto wako, sanduku imepotea.
Bas. Bas, those ones. So today we're going to be talking about them, and we're also going to be talking about what do you do if you're scammed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So to start us off today, I will begin by telling us the different types of online scams that are there. So one of the biggest ones, especially for people in corporate, is normally phishing. So phishing emails.
Wait.
You have
Before you comment, there's something I want to read for you. So I picked this up on X. This lady said, my company emailed everyone a $20 voucher and I clicked the link to claim it. And it turns out it was a phishing test put out by the IT. Yeah. I have to do a mandatory training now.
But there's somewhere I worked where if you don't finish that mandatory training, like if you clicked on a phishing email, then if you don't finish that mandatory training, the head of security would lock your account.
Oh.
Yeah, if you don't finish it by the timeline he had given, he'd lock your account and then you'd have to go tell your CEO that you didn't finish. And now you have
to admit that you are part of you are prey.
You are prey.
Phishing test.
Feeling shame on me.
I know. A whole risk officer.
Yeah. I didn't fall prey, please guys. Wachana na Mihala. Najaribu hapa kunidefame.
How did you know people are being locked out? So it's either you fell prey or you are part of company rumors. Which one was it? Anyway,
I plead the fifth.
Anyway.
Does that work in Kenya?
No, but it will work on this channel for the day.
For today. Okay. The other one is social media scams. Mm-hmm. Hey. Let me tell you, this social media scams. You know this, like, you've ever, like, when you're on Facebook, then they're like, click on this link on Amazon, all you need to pay for an iPhone 15 is shipping. Free iPhone 15, pay for shipping. You've never seen those things?
Kwani mko gullible aje ama ni gullible? Like, kwani?
Hey, my friend, social media pia, it's not easy. Mm-hmm. And then another one, a very nice one, catfishing. Mm-hmm. Have you been catfished?
Not yet. But there's this interesting channel called 60 Minutes Australia. There's a time that they were talking about romantic scams. And a lot of them are catfished by Nigerians, Ghanaians, and people in India.
Oh no.
Yeah, and now they are scammed into sending millions and thousands and hundreds of dollars to them because they tell you my phone is not working well. Like I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Please send money for gas. So there's a whole expose. Aki, I'll send you those links.
Mm-hmm.
Women have lost so much money. There's even one that they would catfish you, and then now your boyfriend tells you, Ati, I have been kidnapped and they need this amount of dollars, and then you, as the loyal girlfriend, you send them money, and
Imagine. Oh, actually, I was being told of a story of a lady who was catfished by her cousin. Yeah. Her cousin pretended to be some guy. They were talking online. They talked for so long, and he was like, he wants to marry her and all that. And then when he never showed up, like this chick went to like a private investigator, only to find that her younger cousin who was catfishing her. Me, I don't know.
Ew.
Wase were in the therapy. So
True. Ew.
yeah. Another type of scam is invoice scams. Mm-hmm. So this one also happens a lot to guys in corporate. So you get an email, especially guys in finance, emails from suppliers like asking you to pay for a certain invoice. That happens a lot. So please make sure before you pay invoices, you verify from procurement if they had gotten those services. Higher. Scam calls. Hey, there's someone who has ever tried me with these scam calls. Ati calling and saying, hi, your number has won this what ati on M-Pesa. Sijui try and withdraw on a certain number. I'm like,
Me who never plays a game.
Please get serious with your scams, guys. Or they call you and tell you, nakupigia kutoka Kenya Power, tuko njiani tunakuja kukata stima yako.
We're like, okay.
Na niko kwa nyumba na wangoja. Sijui, wase wa committee, please improve on your scams. Yeah. The other one is remote access scams. So, for example, in Kenya, this can be seen in the prevalence of SIM swap scams. Mm-hmm. This is where these fraudsters go and try and, replicate your SIM card. Yeah. So someone can go and try and, if they have your personal details like your ID, or if you've lost your ID, you need to be very careful. Someone can go and replace your SIM card with it.
If they have your number.
Yeah. So if someone replaces your SIM card, or there are these other ones who know how to duplicate the SIM cards, then they gain access to your SIM card. Then they're able to withdraw money from your M-Pesa, to try and change your mobile money passwords or your online banking passwords and things like that. Yeah, so that can be seen as remote access. Even on your computer, there are people who may try to gain access to your files online. That's why a lot of times it's good to save your documents on cloud, especially for work documents, because a lot of companies have cybersecurity measures in place that protect the documents that are on cloud. So even if someone tries to access your laptop or your personal computer, they won't be able to see a lot because whatever is on cloud is
on cloud.
Yes, encrypted.
That's interesting to know. I just thought they wanted to lock their documents so that you don't take them when you leave.
That's also a reason. Something else is identity theft. I think, I've seen this a lot in movies. I'm not sure if I have any case in Kenya on identity theft, but it happens a lot. This is where people steal your passport, your ID, or your birth certificate, and they use it to pretend to be you, and they gain access either to your bank account, or they go and take loans on your behalf. Yeah. So you're getting messages, threatening messages.
You're like, Allah,
we are going to come to your company and tell them that you're not paying your mobile loans. You're like, me, when?
What mobile loan?
Bas, identity theft. That's what they do a lot of times. Yeah. Especially for Kenya, I think if it's a SIM swap or an identity theft, most times they take mobile loans. They withdraw the money from your M-Pesa or they take mobile loans using your details. Scary.
Fuliza. Wanafuliza na pesa yako.
Yeah. Another thing, and this one is more on now that we are in the social media age, where we've posted a lot of our information online, these online scammers can use the information that you've posted to extort money from you. So for example, if they find out that you're having an extramarital affair and you've posted your wife on social media or your husband and you're called love of my life. Hey.
Lol.
Yeah, and then they see you somewhere with somebody else, they're like...
With a PYT.
Yeah.
Young pay.
They're like, hey, if you don't want us to send this
To say something.
to Loml,
To Lomlo. Then you and PYT
yes,
shall mandatory give us $1
Exactly.
million.
Yeah, so choose. That in that situation, choose. Do you want your Loml to find out?
Or do you have the money?
Yeah.
Or do you want the...
Yeah. Also, I think the other thing is on hackers. General hacking. So there are people who do ransomware. So ransomware is where they gain access to company systems and then they download personal information on the clients of that company and then threaten to expose the information on that system if you don't pay them the ransom. Yeah, that's something else. The last one that I can think of is Wasewa Forex. Wasewa Forex, what's up?
Yeah.
No, okay, I'm not saying
It's
that
bad.
Forex is bad, but be careful. There are a lot of scammers out there in this Forex business. So whenever someone comes to you with a trading platform or telling you that they're going to trade on your behalf, please make sure that they have credentials. Like in Kenya, check, is this trading platform licensed by the Capital Markets Authority? You know, just do a bit of due diligence before you put your money there. Yeah. And hey, how could I forget this one? Investments. Hey, did you see this lady who scammed people? She said she's running a credit business and she was giving people a return of 20%.
No.
She's uko in the wind right now after stealing almost 300 million from Kenyans.
Okay. I just know the one for church.
Oh, yeah.
The one that told people, even the pastor, invest, and then I think it was called Ambrose or something in Eldoret. Then now the guy is in the wind and I'm sure living very large and left with a lot of the congregation's money.
Yeah, so that even in this case, this lady was telling people to put their money and she's going to use the money to lend to other people. And since credit business in Kenya has become such a booming business, you wouldn't think twice about it. And then you put your money there.
Like she go and be a Shylock.
Yep. And now she's in the wind. DCI can't find her. Yeah, and she's gone with people's money.
I think that is one of the main challenges on online scams and fraud, because if it's online, like it's very hard for the authorities to get their hands on you.
Exactly.
That is why, so I don't know if you know how Hush Puppy's story happened, but Hush Puppy, a Kenyan called Abdul Juma and another Nigerian called Vincent decided to scam someone in Qatar by lying to them that they are going to finance the building of a school.
Yeah.
So they posed as this posh businessmen from New York and working for I don't know which bank. And like the whole financing thing even went ahead and put up a website and whatnot. Coincidentally, I think they turned on Vincent. So what did Vincent do? Vincent went and told the investor, hey, look here, you're going to lose this money. That is how Hush Puppy was found.
Oh.
If he had not been whistle-blown by Vincent, he would have
never been
caught. Hush Puppy went as far as paying the Nigerian authorities, because I think Vincent was in Nigeria, to have him arrested. The guy was arrested. The police that arrested Vincent Hush Puppy's accomplice sent Hush Puppy photos of Vincent being arrested and in handcuffs. And supposedly, the police sent Hush Puppy an account for him to put the money in. So at the end of the day, Hush Puppy ended up pleading guilty to those
charges.
offenses, the charges of fraud and online fraud and scamming and whatnot. But it was the kind of scam that he used to do was so elaborate that it had to take his own betraying him for him to be caught. Yes, he was on, of course, he was on the what is that list called? There's
sanctions list.
Yes, he might have, let me just look for the name of the list. He was on, let me check.
The
scammer blacklist.
Yeah.
He was definitely on the scammer blacklist, but it's not like they could easily get his hands on him until now this person turned on him, and then now the authorities wakamshika.
Yeah.
So with online fraud and online scam, it's very hard for authorities to catch up with you. Some of the reasons, especially things to do with catfishing that ends up you sending money, there's an element of voluntarily sending your money to those people.
Yes.
Because they appeal to your human side. They're like, oh, Ndanu, I love you so much. I love you to send me $100. You send the $100. Nobody holds a gun to your head to send that money.
Yeah.
And if you look at it strictly, yes, there's an element of fraud, but also there's an element of you voluntarily giving thousands of dollars to these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this story for Hush Puppy has reminded me of another story, which is on cryptocurrency, which is also something, if you're planning to invest in any new form of cryptocurrency, please do your due diligence. There was one called OneCoin. I don't know if you heard about it. This lady, she was a Bulgarian entrepreneur. She was called Ruja Ignatova. She was uku all around the world. She even had a PhD telling people to invest in OneCoin. Guys invested. Guys even in Kenya, Uganda, Africa,
all over the world
invested in this OneCoin. Only for one day for it to be found out that it was a fraudulent cryptocurrency. It was not existent, and she disappeared
into the thin air.
Yeah, never to be found. So before you do any investment, please do your due diligence. Yeah. Because with a lot of these people, even if they are caught, getting your money
it's going to be very hard.
Yeah.
Because I highly doubt Hush Puppy who bought a watch for 230
I know.
USD. 230,000 USD. You think you're going to get your money back?
There's nothing like that.
Anyway.
Yes.
We could then jump to what is the legal framework around online scams in Kenya. Again, this is a disclaimer. The law around it, I'm going to give you a very theoretical aspect.
Yes.
Because catching online scammers has been a war that has been ongoing for a lot of countries. Surely if the USA had to catch Hush Puppy in the UAE, then bring him...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So the first part would be the Criminal Procedure Code, and that's section 13 of the Criminal Procedure Code that talks about obtaining money or obtaining under false pretenses. So it's not just money. There has to be something that's something capable of being obtained. It can be money, it can be property, and then it's obtained, or you take it from someone, or you transfer ownership of it under false pretenses. So the main law that I saw that actually talks about criminalizing it is the Criminal Procedure Code, and that's obtaining money under false pretenses or obtaining under false pretenses. The elements of it is you have to have pretended to be someone that you're not.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, there has to be something that is capable of being stolen or being taken away. Number three, you have to have the intention to defraud that person. Number four, the pretense has to have emanated from me, the perpetrator. So if you're accusing me, it has to have emanated from me. And this is another thing that makes it so hard. There can be false pretense, but it's maybe a web. So there has to be an intention to defraud. I did this because I intend to commit fraud.
Yeah.
And then the false pretense and the fraud has to have emanated from me. So it has to have emanated from the perpetrator.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a chain of people. So putting all these elements on one person kind of becomes hard as well. And then the offense can be done orally, can have communicated orally, or in writing, or through the conduct. This is like quote unquote romance scams can be placed here. Like you knew you were married, but then you say this person, and they can be around that area.
So I can sue someone for telling me they will marry me, and then I find out they were married.
Actually, there used to be a civil case. How can I put it? There used to be a civil tort, like a civil wrong called breach of promise to marry. Nowadays, it's not there. So actually, initially in the 90s, there used to be something called breach of promise to marry. It was a civil wrong or a civil tort.
Yeah.
So you could sue someone for breaching the promise to marry you. Nowadays, I cannot confirm that it's still there. But if that civil wrong is attached to maybe something that ends up being a proper scam, that maybe you've lost money or property in it, then probably it can fall under obtaining under false pretense. Again, a lot of this theoretical, because the scamming landscape is still evolving. I was looking at a report by the National Crime and Research Center in Kenya. It's called the Information Communication Technology Crimes and Offences in Kenya, by this guy called Kenneth Bundi Mbaya and Phyllis Muriuki. And one of the things they were saying is 68.4% of scam reported cases or cases of cybercrime offenses are committed in the financial sector. This is why you know so much about this. And it said that the most common one are online bank fraud, credit card scams, and phishing attacks. Yeah, so that kind of laid a basis for me to understand, this is actually a really big issue.
Yes.
Because I thought the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act would be mostly affected by probably the misuse of your data or like threats, those two things that we see on the quote unquote dark web and in the movies, but seems not. Hush Puppy is not by himself.
They're not. They actually work with a lot of people. And funny enough, by the way, these scammers, they're normally very bright IT people. And
they should be. They
should be.
Yeah, because are they literally in the wind, all of them?
It's so hard to catch them. It's true. But then that means that the government needs to invest more and pay, because you see, for example, if you're going to have a unit in DCI to deal with this, you can't be paying them 20,000.
You cannot.
Yeah. You need to be paying them properly.
Proper money.
Yes, so that they can be able to really dig deep and be able to find these scammers.
And I think the DCI might have a unit. We just don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure they are very well funded, because I saw that is one of the things that report addressed, like proper funding of fraud prevention units or fraud action units. The other laws is the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. And obviously that one addresses any crimes that happen on your gadgets and on the internet. And then we have the Consumer Protection Act, which talks about the protections that consumers or customers have in case of issues of online scam. Then there is the Electronic Transactions Act, which kind of guides of how you pay or you transact electronically. And then there's your favorite act, the Data Protection Act of 2019. So as an overview, those are some of the local laws that deal with scams in Kenya.
Yes, and with the Data Protection Act, if you can be able to prove that these people actually stole your personal data without your consent or used it, then you can have a case with you can file a case with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner. Yeah. So it's also good to check how much of your information is out there. Some of the ways in which you can prevent online scamming is to ensure that you don't share as much personal information on social media. So don't go posting your passport opening up your passport and go taking photos and putting there so that you can tell us how you were in Dubai.
Hush Puppy.
Please calm down, okay?
Do you remember that joke for someone posting the front of their credit card and someone said that he posted the back for us?
Yeah.
He post the back as well. We want to see
some bars.
Akili mtu wangu.
Yeah, please take care. And also the use of your images. That is something that also you need to be careful, especially when it comes to children. Yeah, there are now some people who are using children's images to create some online identities for these children. There's even a video that I saw online of how people are taking images of children and even trying to create how this child is going to look like in the future.
I hated that. I saw it on Facebook.
You saw it.
I hated it. The one that showed you what you look like as an adult or what you look like as a kid.
Yes.
I hated that thing. And it's specifically for the fact that why would you want to do that to your child?
Imagine.
By the way, that one, and I'm saying this with a lot of hating, I hated that thing. I hated it.
Yeah. And you see, those are some of the things that with the use of AI, these identity thieves are using to create IDs. Because you'll post those things and this person will take how your child is likely going to look like in the future and create a fake ID and already start using it maybe for, like in the West, I think the people who are saying that the online scammers are already trying to use children's information to start running up debt.
Oh.
Yeah. So you need to be very careful. It's only a matter of time some of the things that are happening in the West
catch up with us.
Exactly.
And also because of their over-reporting, it's not the same thing. It's not to say that we're not already trying it down
Exactly.
here. Exactly.
Yeah. So you need to be very careful with whatever information is out there about you and even about your children. Yeah.
Okay, you've already started the topic, but the next thing we're going to look at was how do you, in the modern age, deal with online scam, or how do you prevent? Like you've said, don't post too much of your information online.
Yes.
I'll go to probably how the government or organizations should help in combating cyber crimes.
Yeah.
One of them for me is heavy civic education. Yes. As much as we are talking about maandamano and the finance bill and whatnot, there is also something to be said about communicating to the masses about mtu akikutumia kwa WhatsApp a link to open a love heart, you don't really need to open that link.
Yes.
If someone sends you a message and says you've won 300,000 on Western Union, don't engage them. And you see, the older generation might also fall prey to this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And especially like the generation that is very active on Facebook as well. They are sent links. They are told, I am in a bind. Because when they hack into people's accounts, they say, I'm in a bind. Send me 3,000 on this account. Before you know someone's account has been hacked, you've already sent the money.
Yes.
So there has to be robust civic education to the masses by the government, by the Ministry of ICT, to kind of inform people that these are the scams that are being run in the modern day and age. Don't just go around giving this information to people.
Yeah.
I like how the Green Company on Waiyaki Way does some of their education, because they tell you don't share your password, don't share your don't share your PIN, don't share this, don't give people that, don't give this information to this person. Granted, some people are still getting scammed, but they are trying to enter that space and say, okay, this is how scams happen. Yeah,
I think that's very good to know. And also that being told, don't click on every link that you're sent. And that's how a lot of people's WhatsApp are being hacked, because you're sent a link, you just click on it very fast, and these people have access to your WhatsApp and they start sending messages to your loved ones.
People.
Yeah. And also something else that you need to remember, awareness. So for example, if you get a message from your child saying, hi mom, I need 3K urgently. You know how your child asks for money. Before you send that 3K urgently,
think through the message.
Yes. Is this normally how they ask for
Yeah.
money? Exactly. So if that's not how they usually ask for money, try and call and ask, hey, what's up? Where do you need
3K urgently?
Exactly. So that you can know. Because sometimes it might be an issue of a SIM swap, or it can also be that someone has stolen your child's phone or your loved one's phone, and now they're using it to
try and extort money from you.
Exactly. Yeah. So you need to be careful before you just react to any message that you're sent. Ask yourself if that is the way that person usually communicates.
I think the other thing that the government can do is, like you said, pay law enforcement better for them to be able to do better. There's only so much the DCI can do in terms of combating cybercrime, people that are guilty of cybercrimes, and even apprehending them. If at all, people who've committed physical crimes and we know where they are and the DCI cannot be able to catch them. Imagine someone that is literally on the internet.
Yeah.
How hard it can be for us to catch those people. So what usually happens with a lot of police, they'll hire private investigators. So a lot of people who have the financial muscle can hire private investigators. They can hire experts and professionals to help them with combating scamming.
Yes.
But the common Kenyan mwananchi who's actually getting scammed out of their 200, 300 shillings might not be able to have the same benefit. Why? Because law enforcement can't do better because they are not paid better. When you look at the case, even just for Hush Puppy, it had to take Interpol and the Internet Crime Complaint Center of the US to apprehend him. So you can now imagine those people who are in a dark room somewhere in Abuja. How will they be caught?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else that probably would improve issues of online scamming in the corporate world, a lot of the cyber awareness trainings. Yes, cybersecurity training is very important. Any company because a lot of times companies, your data is online. Even currently with the way people have hybrid working, remote working, most of your information is online in the cloud. So you need to make sure that you've trained your people on one, having strong passwords, not sharing passwords. That issue of not sharing passwords is actually a very big deal because sometimes people call, they're like, are you in the office? So you print something for me.
Log in and print it for me.
Yeah. Please don't do that. Okay? If you want someone to print something for you, send it to their email.
True.
Yeah.
Log in yourself, send it to their email.
Exactly.
Even send it to their WhatsApp. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't give people your password because once they have one of your passwords, it can be easy for them to guess
The
your
rest of
other
the
passwords.
passwords,
I've talked about using strong passwords. The other thing for companies is to improve their cybersecurity controls. So one, ensure that your laptops are encrypted. So that means even if your laptop is stolen, information can't be stolen from it. Because even if they try to open it, it will be difficult. They'll just have to erase everything on that laptop. They won't be able to have access to the company information. Also, other controls. There are many cybersecurity controls that companies can do. There are those ones that are in relation to having firewalls and things like that. So it's very good to assess. So one of the things that I've learned, or I learned in our former job, is the first thing, you can bring in cybersecurity experts to do a penetration test for you. So a penetration test is looking at if a hacker was trying to hack your system, either through your websites or either through any external facing applications, how easy would it be for them to access your systems? Once they do that, then they recommend for you what controls you can be able to put in place. Yeah. So it's good. First, check your vulnerability.
And then address it from the point of, this is the problem that
exactly.
we have. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So that's how you deal with it. And then when it comes to personal data, train your staff not to take photos, of client data. They shouldn't be taking photos of application forms for clients and things like that. They also shouldn't be sending company information to their Gmails or other personal emails, because that's also one of the ways in this that these online scammers get access to company information. Yeah. So you need to train your staff a lot. AI behavior. AI is a whole topic on its own.
It is.
Yeah. There are a lot of issues of people uploading full presentations
On AI.
Yeah. They just upload on ChatGPT or Gemini, forgetting that anything you upload there, now becomes
part of their record.
Yes, and it's now in the public domain. The AI will use it to respond to
people's issues.
Exactly. And you've probably uploaded proprietary company information on it. So you need to be careful even when you're trying to get answers from whatever AI tool that you use it responsibly. Remind me to tell you something.
Please.
About
I'm listening to this and I'm like, there's tea here. There's tea here. I think as we come to a close, the other thing that I have seen work with combating cybercrime is collaboration.
Yes.
So there can be collaboration between maybe the DCI, the regulator, and your organization. And this is targeted collaboration. You don't get to collaborate on everything.
Yeah.
So in case you have like an attack on your software or in your system, then you can be able to contact your regulator's unit that deals with that area. Probably like let's say the insurance fraud unit.
Yes.
Like contact them and tell them this is where the issue is. And they can be able, and probably with the DCI and whatever governmental agency can help you, and you can be able to either catch those people, and if you're even unable to catch those people, then they can be able to tell you what levels of control you need to put in place for you to have a safer cyber environment for your organization.
Interesting. And speaking of regulatory, if you have a cyber issue or attack that causes a data breach on personal data, so if your client data is compromised, you need to self-report to the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner. Don't wait for them to come for you.
Because you will be fined.
Yes, just self-report. Okay. I think we've come to the end of this interesting episode. If you'd like us to delve deeper into any issues to do with cybersecurity, online frauds, or digital behavior, please tell us what issues you'd like us to cover on the comment section or DM us in our social media pages. Please remember to subscribe. Yeah, we'd like to close the year with at least 500 subscribers.
I know.
Yeah, so please.
500. We're not even asking for much.
Yeah, just
we're now
500.
at 263. Just 500. Just 500.
Just get another almost 250 people.
Nusu tu.
And we'll get there. So thank you all for watching this episode. And you can also follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And on our social media pages. On Instagram, our page is at The Rundown KE. My personal page is at Ndanuns Yuko.
I am at Mihala_Barasa. And until we see you guys next time, bye.